right? So I like to say Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, and citation to you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. America's going to be destroyed, man. America is going down the drain. That was a video that I posted on the brothers group chat, and the video, let me actually get it, so I can get what it actually says on the article. It's actually not a video, it's an actual article. So Salakia on that. Salakia on that. So the article says, see if it comes up. It said job losses mount. Arizona faces more more layoffs as 2 more businesses unveil staffing cuts. Now, you can go to Newsbreak and look this up for yourself. It says workforce woes deepen in Arizona with layoffs announcement by 2 companies. More bad news for workers in Arizona this week, with 2 more companies announcing layoffs in the state. Last week, I reported that General Motors were cutting 940 information technology jobs in Arizona and ending IT operations in the state. Now, 2 more businesses have made job cuts in Arizona under the Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Act. An employer with more than 100 full-time workers must provide a 60-day notice before laying off 50 or more people at a single site. 2 new filings have been lodged with the Arizona Department of Economic Security advising of layoff. Arizona job cuts. IP a software company based in Scottsdale, conducts layoffs on a mass Webinar call this week. This was followed by a WARN Act filing stating that 158 positions would be terminated. So America, man, all the events that's happening within this place is showing that we are at the end of America, man. This place is going to fall, man. And when it falls, it's going to fall hard. So check this out. This is another article that I posted today on the brothers group chat. It says rising rents in Arizona threaten low-income household due to legal gap. Now, you know, when these things are taking effect in Arizona, these things are taking effect all over the world, right? Because guess what? If it's not, then why is people from New York, California, etc. is coming here to Arizona? Because to them, they believe it's cheaper, and it's not. Arizona is actually becoming very expensive to live out here, man. It's not cheap as it was, maybe 10 years back. So again, it says rising rents in Arizona threaten low-income household due to legal gap. Arizona rents are rising, especially impacting low-income communities due to a gap in the low-income housing tax credit program. Over 25 apartment complexes have transitioned from affordable to market rates, causing housing insecurities. Efforts are underway to address the tax credit program gap to protect future affordable housing units. So they putting people in a hole, man. They're putting people in a hole because why? The cost of living is going up. You got people who cannot afford that. You got rent that's like $1,700-$800, and if utilities aren't included, that means people are having to pay for lights and water and shit. So it's becoming very bad for people to be out here and you are a single person. If you are a single mom, it's going to be difficult for you. If you are a single dad, it's going to be difficult for you, man. Because now rent is taking up the majority of your paycheck. So, really, if you really get down and dirty with it, you can see that it's getting rid of the middle class. It's getting rid of the middle class. So now it's going to only result to the rich and the poor, and that's it. A lot of people are getting evicted. A lot of people are getting kicked out. A lot of people have problems financially in America. And when people have problems financially in America and they can't afford nothing and they're going through these things, it becomes a problem for their family. Eventually, people will begin to protest, man. Protests eventually turn into riots when these people can't take care of their families, man. You go into the book of Revelation, man, it tells you that the wealth of earth shall fall. It tells you that, man. Right? When you go into Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, it tells you that the storehouses shall be shut, because what's happening is that with all these layoffs and people, people getting laid off, and there's not enough workers, or people are not spending enough money, it causes a deflation, and then it causes people to get laid off too, because people aren't spending a lot of money as they used to. They used to have that extra money, but they don't have it anymore, because now they got to put it towards light, because guess what? They raised up the light bill, they raised up the water bill, they raised up the rent, right? So, and then on top of that, you might have a car note to pay, so you got insurance, you got a cell phone, you got to pay that, right? You still got to get your kids food, you still got to get a lot of things in order to live, and people aren't being able to afford that anymore. So it's becoming a problem in America. This is how you know that this place is going down the drain, and eventually it's going to be destroyed, because this is what the Lord is setting all of this up for. There's going to be chaos within and without. No different, and we always mention this, no different than the Roman Empire. There's going to be chaos within and without, and you can see it, man. When people start going through these great tribulations, when people start going through these great troubles, that's when logic for people goes right out the window. Logic for people right now is going right out the window, man. Because by even in the times that we are now, it's hard to live, because the prices are constantly going up, man. So it's becoming very difficult for the middle class to survive. Like, even when you having two people working, it's still very difficult for even them to keep up with their bills. But like, when you go into the book of there was scriptures popping up in my mind, but I ended up not grabbing them. But when I want to grab right now, I'm gonna grab the book of Haggai 1, right? What is that? Haggai 1 and 5. Now therefore, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, consider your ways. Ye have sown much, because people working their ass off, man. People are working their ass off. They're trying to get the overtime. They're trying to work late to pull in more bread, man, because now you're not even able to do the curricular activities that you used to do due to the bills that you have to pay. So it says, ye have sown much, right? And bring in little, right? So you're bringing in little, man. You're not bringing in enough. Though you're making the company thousands of dollars a day, you're only walking out of the company with a few $100s, man. Even if that, at best. Because right now you got people that's making like $15 to $17 an hour. People that's making $18 an hour. And even the people that's making beyond even people that's making above $20 is still struggling, man. So it says, ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag full of holes. Why? Because you got to pay rent, you got to pay your insurance, you got to pay phone bills, you got to pay this and that and the third and all that, food and all that, man. So you get that money only for that money to go. So it's becoming very difficult for people to pay their rent. It's becoming difficult for people to pay their car notes. So car notes are being told out, man. So times are only getting more difficult for people, man, being in America. So let's go to Matthew's 24 and what is that? That's Matthew's 24 and 21, right? Yeah, 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So great tribulation is coming to the world, man. Great tribulation is coming to the world. Great suffering is coming to the world. You people really gonna know what it means to not have anything, man. You're gonna be seeing tents lined up outside. People living in their cars. People living in their ACs. People living, their RVs. I don't know why I said ACs. Salakia. Their RVs. People having to live in houses that people are building behind their houses, and they're renting out the house that's behind the house. So people are it's becoming very difficult for people. And like I said, people ain't really gonna start reacting until it starts affecting their kids in a major way. once it really start affecting them in a major way, even if they don't have kids, it's still affecting them in a major way. Salaki, bear with me for a second. I'm gonna have to end it from here and say Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah by Hashem, Rakah Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. I like to say Shalom.